Siena Baseball, their program was able to beat Canisius twice on Sunday to win the MAC title, and now joining us in studio is the head coach, the manager of the Siena Baseball program, Tony Rossi. Coach Rossi, thanks for being here today. We appreciate it.
No, thanks for having me.
Okay, so the MAC championship win, not only did your program stamp their way to the NCAA tournament, but it was also your 800th. That's kind of cool, kind of momentous.
I guess I didn't know until after I think my assistant coach brought up the lineup card and wrote 800 on it, so that's what I knew. I really didn't know. I know I've coached a couple of thousand games, but I really don't look at the wins.
Congrats. Yeah. It's an amazing accomplishment, though.
Well, you've been the head coach now at Siena for 45 years. This is your 45th season. What is it about this job that's so great? One job for 45 years. That by itself, Coach Rossi, is pretty impressive.
Well, I think first it's the game itself. Okay, I love the game. That's number one. Of course, I could coach anywhere with the game, but number one, the game, and number two, I really enjoy working with college kids because they really want to work and get better, and they all have a goal, and their goal is to make the big leagues, and obviously it's a goal, and they'll work hard for it, and pretty much. You're running a mini kind of major league program is basically what you're doing. We do everything that probably they do in the big leagues. It's just not the same way.
Tony Rossi of the Siena Baseball program joining us in studio. It's Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. And Skip, one of the most impressive things is you guys started 0-17 with a tough early schedule in the season. Then you were on the road for a lot of the games in a row, over 30 consecutive games in a row. How did this team get to where they're at now?
Well, I think I've been scheduling a preseason trip. A third of the schedule on the road against really good Southern teams over the last, I don't know, maybe 40 years. And I've done that on purpose, obviously not for wins and losses. Otherwise, I'd probably have more than 800 wins. But basically done that as a spring training for our guys to play against the best competition that they can play in. So we really don't usually win a lot of games. And I think the kids know this from the seniors, juniors, sophomores on down. When the freshmen come in, they understand what we do. They know that we use it like as a spring training, give everybody an opportunity to play. Well, I'd like to win them just as long as they play. And we play hard. And we learn something against who we're playing because usually the teams we're playing are pretty good talent-wise. As far as the road, that's interesting because the first third, obviously 17 games is on the road. So that's what we always do. And then the other games up here when we play them, I try to schedule late March if at the earliest because of the weather. So we'll take our midweek games and play them later on in first week of April, hopefully to get them in because I know we won't get them in mid-March on earlier. And the conference games I have no control over. So we had one, I think, moved down to Long Island, the Niagara series. But other than that, really the schedule it's pretty much been the same ever since I've been here as far as early start.
So you guys are now going to Fort Worth on Friday, and you're playing TCU Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. The number 7 team in the country. You just talked about the amount of road games that you schedule. Do those help? Do those come in handy now that you guys have to go across the country? And by the way, Levack, every team in this pool is from the state of Texas, from the area. You guys are the only ones that have to travel, which seems like a little bit of an unfair disadvantage to me. But, hey, you've prepared your team for this point, though.
Yeah, the preseason schedule is difficult. It's always challenging. So when our kids come back, there are no surprises. The hitters see real good pitch. If they see good pitching, it's no surprise, and vice versa with the pitchers versus the hitters. So I think we're prepared that way. The thing that's, it's going to be difficult is now we're playing 3 outstanding clubs, back to back if we play 3, but we'll play at least the first 2. And, it's a double elimination. So that's kind of like the MAC tournament. But it's going to be tougher because of the talent who we're playing. But our kids are used to it. I don't think they fear anybody. I mean, Canisius was the 29th ranked team in the nation, and they're pretty good. They're pretty close to the teams we're going to be playing.
And what was the key in beating them twice over the weekend? What did you see out of your team in those 2 games?
Well, our team all year long pretty much has played hard right to the end of the game. I mean, if we get 3, 4, or 5 runs behind, you wouldn't know it by their performance on the field, their effort. I mean, the performance you might know if we're not playing well, but their effort is always going to be there. So the effort's been good, and I always encourage them, and I say to them, don't get too high, don't get too low, and play hard all the way through. And this is what's happened. And we had a pretty decent record up in the Northeast here.
Tony Rossi of Siena Baseball joining us in studio. Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team. And your program winning their second MAC title, second NCAA tournament appearance, is that the big difference in this team? Just the fact that they don't quit, that they fight throughout the entire game? Is that, if you were to pinpoint one difference in this year's lineup, this year's roster?
Well, I think that's one thing, and also the last third of the year we've played real solid defense. I think we're ranked pretty much, I don't know where, in the country in double plays. So that's been a key, getting out of big innings with double plays, and our bullpen and pretty much three gentlemen have been outstanding for us coming in. Our starters have struggled a lot most of the year, basically, but our three guys out of the pen have been outstanding, and they're the guys. We try to get a lead. We play a little different. We play small ball, which I'm not a fan of, but I have to do it because of what we have offensively. We'll bunt early to get ahead and hopefully get our starters into the sixth inning. That's all I look for them to get to the sixth and let the bullpen take over.
Interesting. So you've had to get out of your comfort zone a little bit to play to the team's strength.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. But I like to run, hit, do the thrill type things.
Yeah. Well, in fact, that's a sign of a coach that's been doing this a long time. I mean, you know how to adapt and make these guys successful.
Well, I love that. So by scheduling the hard guys early, by doing all the travel, how prepared is this team right now to travel down and play this tournament and be on the road and play all these tough teams?
No, we're prepared and ready. It's just I don't know the level. I know the level that they're very good. I just don't know how good they are, and I know their pitching is going to be outstanding, which means they're going to keep us down run-wise. We're not a great offensive team, so we're not going to score a ton of runs, I don't believe, okay? So if we don't score a ton of runs, then obviously we got to get good pitching and defense. And the defense has been solid lately, and that starting pitching is going to be the key for us. If they can get us to the sixth, with none or one run, I think we got shot.
Well, we cannot have you in studio and not bring up the name Vincent Citro and the fact that Levack, he was named the Louisville Slugger National Player of the Week after hitting 700 in the MAC tournament.
Wow.
Over the weekend. How special is this guy?
Well, he was very comfortable in this tournament, obviously. I talked to him after it about seeing the ball, and he just said he knew pretty much in his mind what every pitch was going to be thrown to him based on the pitch calling by their coaches. So, he was just in a real comfort zone. Vinny's he's a 6'3" first baseman. It's not a big power hitter. He uses the whole field, pretty much goes opposite a lot, and bunts real well, runs real well for a big guy. And he's just been an outstanding player for 4 years. In fact, when he was a freshman, when we had the All-American Danny Paolini, Vinny's, I think, set our school record. He went 6 for 6 one game. So he's a kid that got hot at the right time right now, and hopefully he can continue to do that.
Yeah, hopefully carry it over.
Yeah.
What was the celebration like for you guys yesterday in winning the MAC title, or on Sunday, excuse me?
Well, first of all, obviously the guys were excited after the game. They were, a lot of emotion, because they played hard. It was a long season. Yesterday, they didn't care really where we were going, so they were pretty pumped up, to go to Texas. And they've been pumped up pretty much the last, I'd say, quarter of the season because they've been winning and coming back. They're kind of a little bit of a cardiac kid type team, though. We've had a lot of one-run games and coming in late and winning games late, which is not good for coaches' hearts. But that's they've been working hard.
I always want to ask coaches who've been doing this for a long time. You in your 45th season at Siena, how has recruiting changed for you from when you started to now? Is it completely different with the mindset of the youth these days? And with social media, is there a lot of differences to you, or do you do your same thing and have the same speech that you did?
Really different. The AAU, so to speak, type teams, the national showcase workouts, tournaments. There's nobody hidden this year. Everybody nowadays there's nobody that's hidden. It used to be you could go in your area and see somebody, or in your state and see somebody that nobody's seen. Now everybody sees them. They're on this Perfect Game websites, all these websites, Baseball Factory. They have kids up there with ratings and so forth. That's changed tremendously. Parents have put a lot of money into that, to go to these things. But kids, are not hidden anymore. It's tough. It's tough because a lot of the southern schools are coming up in the Northeast here, taking kids out, which they didn't before. They'd maybe take an occasional kid, but now they're taking tons of kids out. So we have to expand a little bit and go nationally a little bit. And actually also the other thing is it's the basketball and football, especially the basketball, has created the early commitment, not early signing. And they're committing kids in freshman year in high school. Now baseball's got to it. They got to freshmen now. The big schools, ACC, SEC, they're committing freshmen in high school.
What's your take on these kids at the young age having to get Tommy John surgery, and the amount of kids in Major League Baseball now having to get Tommy John surgery.
Yeah, I'm probably 100% wrong, but my field take on it since I've been here so long is we never had arm injuries, and we've had guys pitch every fourth day and pitch more inning starters than they do today. I'm probably wrong, but I think it has to do with the strength programs. We never weightlift earlier when I started coaching. I never weightlifted. Major leaguers back in the early 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever, 60s, they never weightlifted. When the weightlifting came in, seems things changed, and I don't think, maybe that's not it, but to me, that could be it. I just think muscle buildup or muscles don't belong, et cetera, et cetera. I just think this has something to do with the lifting. I'm probably the only one that thinks that.
Now, does the success of the basketball program, Coach Patsos, who joins us once in a while, taking the team to the CBI championship, does that help you with recruiting to have the powerful basketball team and to be on the news a little bit more, or does it just doesn't make a dang bit of difference?
Athletics in general?
Yeah, I think it does in general because people know of the school. When you get national exposure like we're going to get now, all our games are going to be on ESPN3, I guess.
Yes.
So, when you get that national exposure from the basketball program, the men's program, women's program, or whatever, I think that helps. It helps that people know the name and see the name there, and then when we're recruiting a kid, they'll say, "Oh yeah, I remember that because your basketball team." It's occasionally that'll happen, not a lot, but occasionally.
Yeah. Friday night, 8 o'clock, Siena baseball takes on TCU in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Fort Worth, Texas. All right, so it's a busy afternoon for you. You guys are leaving tomorrow, right?
Sometime tomorrow morning, hopefully.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. So you have a lot of errands, a lot of stuff you got to do today. Get done before you guys hit the road.
I just got to take a nap. No, yeah, yeah, we have a lot of stuff to do. Hotel arrangements, transportation with the airfare, the air. Travel, we've got all our. I got to get an itinerary together with for the kids so they know where to go. Parents, just got things like with you guys. I've got everybody calling me from our kids, local newspapers and radio and TV, and want me to call them and so forth with quotes on our kids. So it's going to be busy. I've been in the office pretty much late every night. So.
That's
get in
awesome.
About 4:15 a.m. and get out of here about 10.
Like just listening to Skip talk. Don't you want to just go field some grounders?
I'm ready, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you need anybody else to join you on the trip,
let's go. I think it's time.
I could do it. I don't know if I could bend over to help you to show you how to pick them up.
No, I'm not. I don't want to bend over. Could you just line drive them right at my chest? That'd be cool.
Yeah, Levack could be a good catcher. Nothing would get past him.
Oh, come on, right? Man. This is the kind of attitude you're going to deal with down in Texas, just so you know.
I know where he's from.
It's Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. Thank you very much to Tony Rossi, Skip joining us, the head baseball coach at Siena Baseball. And Coach, congratulations on all of your successes. Win number 800, and good luck this weekend. Go have some fun with the kids.
Okay, guys. Thanks for having me.